Over the weekend, Donald Trump announced a new trade deal with the European Union. It will families. When you raise tariffs, the American families pay for it.
In a groundbreaking development that has reshaped the landscape of international trade, President Donald Trump has officially unveiled a new and remarkably comprehensive trade agreement with the Republic of Korea, a nation more commonly referred to as South Korea. Welcome viewers to my channel. Please subscribe, like my video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. This monumental deal was meticulously crafted and finalized just days before the looming August 1st deadline, a date that had been a source of considerable anxiety and a catalyst for frantic negotiations. This deadline was significant because it represented the point at which the U.S. was poised to impose dramatically higher and potentially crippling tariffs on a wide array of South Korean goods. The new agreement, therefore, stands as a triumph of diplomacy and strategic negotiation, as it successfully averts the most severe economic fallout while simultaneously setting a new, albeit more stringent, set of terms for trade. The core of this new trade paradigm is a revised tariff structure. The new agreement stipulates a 15% tariff on the majority of South Korean imports into the United States. This rate, while a definitive increase from the previous baseline of 10%, is a highly favorable outcome for Seoul, as it successfully prevents the imposition of the far more punishing 25% reciprocal tariff that had been a distinct and frightening possibility. For key South Korean export industries, particularly the powerful sectors of automobiles, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals, this new 15% rate offers a crucial degree of predictability and a much-needed sense of relief from the specter of a full-scale trade war. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, in a statement released on the social media platform X, also provided an additional layer of clarity by confirming that certain other pivotal South Korean exports, including steel, aluminum, and copper products, would not be subject to these new tariffs at all and would continue to be governed by their existing terms, a notable concession. A comprehensive financial and sectoral blueprint. The financial and sectoral components of this new agreement are both extensive and a clear reflection of the specific economic priorities of both the Trump administration and the South Korean government. At the heart of the deal, as announced by President Trump on his personal Truth Social account, is a truly staggering financial commitment from South Korea. The country has pledged a massive $350 billion in investments into the American economy. This enormous capital injection will be personally overseen and allocated by the president, giving the Trump administration direct control over its deployment. This unprecedented inflow of capital is a key victory for the administration's America First trade agenda and represents a powerful lever for influencing American industrial policy. A substantial and strategically significant portion of this massive investment fund, specifically $150 billion, has been specifically designated for the revitalization and expansion of the U.S. shipbuilding industry. This provision is not merely a financial transfer. It is a detailed blueprint for industrial cooperation. It includes concrete plans for the construction of brand new shipyards on American soil, the establishment of sophisticated workforce training programs to equip American workers with the necessary skills, and a concerted effort to strengthen the overall domestic supply chain for shipbuilding. This provision is a direct and forceful response to President Trump's long-held ambition of reestablishing American leadership in manufacturing and heavy industry. The remaining $200 billion of the investment fund will be strategically distributed to other critical sectors of the American economy, including semiconductors, secondary batteries, biologics, and the energy sector, all areas where the U.S. is seeking to enhance its domestic capabilities and reduce its dependence on foreign suppliers. Beyond this extensive investment fund, South Korea has also committed to a separate, but equally substantial, agreement to purchase $100 billion of liquefied natural gas, LNG, and other energy products from the U.S. over the next 3.5 years. This long-term purchasing agreement further solidifies the economic relationship between the two nations and provides a major boost to the U.S. energy sector, ensuring a stable and reliable market for American natural gas exports. The political and economic calculus behind the agreement. For South Korea, this trade deal represents a major political accomplishment, particularly for President Lee Jae-myung, who only recently took office in June following a turbulent period of domestic political strife. In a public statement on his official Facebook page, President Lee praised the agreement, highlighting its successful negotiation under extremely tight deadlines and challenging circumstances. He emphasized that the deal would bring a crucial sense of stability and certainty to the South Korean export environment, which had been operating under a cloud of uncertainty and the constant threat of damaging tariffs. The agreement, from his perspective, is a testament to his administration's ability to navigate complex international relations and protect the nation's economic interests. However, the path to this agreement was not entirely smooth, and the negotiations involved a considerable degree of give and take. One of the most significant points of contention was the issue of agricultural market access. The U.S. delegation had strongly demanded that South Korea further open its agricultural markets, a key priority for the American farm lobby. South Korean officials, however, successfully resisted this pressure, holding firm on a matter of significant domestic importance. The head of the president's policy office, Kim Yong-byum, publicly confirmed that after a careful and exhaustive review of national food security and the profound sensitivity of the country's domestic agricultural sector, South Korea would not be making any additional concessions regarding its domestic rice and beef markets. This refusal to compromise on a core domestic demand underscores the often difficult nature of the negotiations and South Korea's firm commitment to protecting its own vital interests. This specific trade agreement is not an isolated event. It is a clear manifestation of President Trump's broader and more aggressive trade strategy. The August 1st deadline was a powerful negotiating tool that compelled numerous countries to either accept new terms or face the severe economic consequences of higher import duties. This strategy has been applied across the board. For instance, Brazil recently saw a devastating 40 percentage point increase in its tariffs, pushing them to 50% after its president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, chose not to comply with a similar demand from the Trump administration. Similarly, while newly announced trade agreements with the European Union and Japan offered some relief from other threatened sectoral tariffs, both of these major trading partners will also be subject to the same 15% tariff on their goods as a result of their own renegotiations with the U.S., demonstrating the universal application of this new trade policy. Economically, the New Deal is a form of proactive damage control for the South Korean economy. The country's GDP had already experienced an unexpected contraction at an annual rate of 0.1% in the first quarter of the year, its first negative reading in 4 years. The imposition of a 25% tariff would have undoubtedly exacerbated this economic pain, potentially triggering a deeper recession. The new 15% tariff, while still a burden, is a far more manageable challenge. The U.S. and South Korea share a robust and deeply interconnected trade relationship, with South Korea serving as the 7th largest source of imports for the U.S., shipping over $132 billion in goods last year alone, including crucial products like cars and electronics. In the other direction, the U.S. exported $66 billion in goods to South Korea, primarily consisting of oil, gas, and industrial machinery. The newly concluded trade deal, therefore, represents a critical and carefully managed moment in this ongoing economic partnership, a moment that aims to balance the U.S.'s demands for more favorable trade terms with South Korea's need to maintain its economic stability and international competitiveness.